Looks like we're live. I'm trying to move this here real quick. All right, everybody. Welcome back to impromptu live edition of Guns and Gadgets here. Sunday evening. Was it 7:15 p.m. I wanted to do this one live because I've just edited 2 videos and I just don't really have the time. So I wanted to tell everybody about a very dangerous bill that was submitted Thursday in Arizona, of all places, Arizona, and they're coming after everything. And when I mean everything, I'm going to read you most of the bill here to let you know how bad this truly is. So I will have a link in the description once I'm done editing this, and it goes up to the YouTube part as there's a regular video. But it's SB 1625. Again, it was submitted Thursday. And it's a partisan bill. There are 12 people backing it. They're all Democrats. And it's not good. The bill title is Assault Weapons, Magazines, and Prohibition and Registration. Tells you everything you need to know. But let's go into it further because it's bad. It is pretty bad, especially for Arizona. So I'll run down most of it because I've read it, and you got to read it to know what's in it. So here we go. Any person, corporation, or other entity may not manufacture, import, possess, purchase, sell, or transfer any assault weapon or large capacity magazine. And the assault weapon term is huge and very vague, but it includes everything, guys. Of course, this doesn't apply to any government officer, agent, or employee, police departments, military, etc. But a person who currently legally possesses an assault weapon or a large capacity magazine, and for Arizona that's going to be more than 10, if you already have those, on the effective date of this section, should this pass, and who does not do any of the following within 90 days after the effective date, you'll be prosecuted. So if you don't want to be prosecuted within 90 days if this passes, you would have to do the following. You would have to remove the assault weapon or large capacity magazine from the state of Arizona, or render the assault weapon permanently inoperable, or surrender the assault weapon or the large capacity magazines to the appropriate law enforcement agency for destruction. So get rid of them, get them out of our state, break them so they don't work, or give them to us, the government, and trust us with it, and we'll break them for you. Also, if you're eligible, you should register the assault weapon as provided in the subsection D, which I'm going to get to in a minute. So they'll allow you to register it, and everything in history tells us registration precedes confiscation. In order to register your firearms, your assault weapons, that the person must legally possess them before the effective date of this section. The person must comply with the following requirements. Okay, these are the hoops you would have to jump through to keep what you have right now. Submit to a background check conducted by the appropriate law enforcement agency to confirm that the person is not prohibited purchaser under 18 U.S.C. Section 922 or prohibited person pursuant to Section 133101 of Arizona's laws. 2. Unless the person is currently prohibited by law from possessing a firearm, you must immediately register the assault weapon with the appropriate law enforcement agency. And of course, there's a fee that will apply. You know the government, it will apply. You must also safely and securely, safely and securely store the assault weapon pursuant to the rules adopted by the Department of Public Safety, safe storage laws. You must annually renew and register annually renew the registration subject to completing another background check. So every year you got to jump through this hoop. They can charge you the fee every single year. The only place you could then have that assault weapon after you register are the following places: on a property that the person owns or is in immediate control of. 2, while on the premises of a licensed gunsmith only for the purpose of a lawful repair. 3, while engaged in the legal use of that assault weapon at a duly licensed firing range. No more going out onto your property shooting, unless you have, full control of it. No more going out to your friend's range, stuff like that. It has to be a duly licensed one. And number 4, while traveling to or from locations listed in the paragraph that are above, so you can only bring it to the range or to a gunsmith or to another property that you own, as long as they're stored unloaded in a locked container during transport for the purpose of the subdivision. Locked container does not include the utility compartment, the glove compartment, or the trunk of a motor vehicle. So where the frick do you put it? Okay, we'll keep going. You must then have to report the loss or theft of a registered assault weapon to the appropriate law enforcement agency within 48 hours after the loss or the theft is discovered or should have been discovered. This is that gray area right now that's eating up Virginia. Should have discovered. Who decides that? That is a major problem in any of these laws as far as reporting goes. They being the government, could say, well, you should have known that immediately, and it's been 3 months from the time it was lost or stolen until when you notified or you learned about it. We think you should have done it right away. You're a felon. Dangerous stuff. Okay, if a registered assault weapon is used in the commission of a crime, the registered owner is civilly liable for any damages resulting from that crime. The liability imposed, blah, 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 blah. You're going to go to jail and you're going to get sued by everybody involved. The registered assault weapon may not be purchased, sold, or transferred, except that a registered assault weapon may be transferred to a licensed gunsmith for the purpose of a lawful repair, or to the appropriate law enforcement agency for the purpose of surrendering it, to giving it to daddy, and it's going to be submitted for destruction. Any assault weapon that is possessed in violation of this section may be destroyed unless a court or a county or a city attorney finds or the United States Department of Justice declares that preserving the assault weapon is in the best interest of justice. So unless it's evidence, gone. They're going to destroy it on you. Now, any person who acquires an assault weapon by an inheritance, by bequest, or succession shall do one of the following within 90 days after acquiring the title. They want you to title these things. Must be the registration. You have to, A, modify the assault weapon and render it permanently inoperable. Okay, so you're going to have a bat. 2, surrender the assault weapon to the Department of Public Safety for destruction. Or 3, transfer that assault weapon to a firearms dealer who is properly licensed under federal, state, and local laws. So if you get it by inheritance, you don't even get the chance to keep it. You got to give it up. You got to render it broken or transfer it legally to somebody with a license who can sell it from under you. It keeps going. Keeps going. Arizona, this is yours. Okay, guys, thumbs up the video so more people can see it, please. Share it when it's done so that people get this out. This is Arizona we're talking about. The registered owner of an assault weapon may not purchase additional assault weapons. So whatever you have at the point of this passing, that's all you'll ever get because the king has decided that, if this passes. A law enforcement agency may charge a fee determined by the Director of Public Safety for each registration. So if you have 25 guns, that's 25 fees every single year. If you violate this, blah, 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 misdemeanors or felonies, depending on whatever it is, fines and fees are all in here. And then this is the most disturbing part. Okay, here are the definitions. This is what we need to pay attention to, is the definitions, because they're different from state to state, and this is where you really find out what they're trying to do. For the purposes of this section, assault weapon means A, a semi-automatic rifle that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine. Just the capacity. That's all of them, right? 99% of them. B, a semi-automatic pistol or any semi-automatic centerfire rifle with a fixed magazine that has the capacity to accept more than 10 rounds of ammo. Gone. Wipe them all out. C, a semi-automatic pistol that has the capability to accept a detachable magazine and that has at least one of the following characteristics. Okay, so now pistols with mags. If it has one of these. Any feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by the non-trigger hand. Angled foregrips, vertical foregrips. This is your AR and AK pistols and the like. 2, any folding, telescoping, or thumbhole stock. See what they're going after. 3, a shroud that is attached to the barrel, that's your forearm, your foregrips, or that partially or completely encircles the barrel, and that allows the bearer to hold the firearm with the non-trigger hand without being burned, excluding a slide that encloses the barrel. That's AR, AK, pistols, 80% lowers, 80% builds, all that in here without them saying it. Keeps going. Gets worse. 4. Any pistol, semi-automatic pistol, that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine at any location outside of the pistol grip. There's your bullpups. Gone. Any semi-automatic shotgun that has one or more of the following. Number 1, a pistol grip or a thumbhole stock. Number 2, any feature capable of functioning as a protruding grip that can be held by the non-trigger hand. That's even your little straps that go around the fore ends, okay? 3, a folding or telescoping stock. 4, a fixed magazine capacity that requires, or that can carry more than 5 rounds. That's basically most shotguns out there that can have an extended tube on them. It keeps going. The ability to accept a detachable magazine. So those are your new 590s, right? Any shotgun with a revolving cylinder. It includes a conversion kit, part or combination of parts, from which an assault weapon can be assembled if those parts are in possession or under the control of the same person. Your parts kits for lowers are going to be illegal if this passes. It does not include any firearm that has been made permanently inoperable. Of course, because it's not a firearm if it doesn't work permanently. It's broken. A fixed magazine means an ammunition feeding device contained in or permanently attached to a firearm in such a manner that the device cannot be removed without disassembly of the firearm's action. And number 3, large capacity magazine means any ammunition feeding device with the capacity to accept more than 10 rounds but does not include any of the following. So there's a couple exceptions. We're not coming after everything. Number 1 is a feeding device that has been permanently altered so that it cannot accommodate more than 10 rounds. 2 is a .22 caliber tube ammunition feeding device. And 3 is a tubular magazine that is contained in a lever action firearm. So as you can see, the only thing that this bill does not look to ban are revolvers, lever action rifles, and a couple .22s. Really? Arizona. This is you. SB 1625. This was submitted Thursday. While nobody was paying attention because everybody's watching what's going on in other places right now, right? Washington, Virginia, there's a lot of stuff going on, Rhode Island. Nobody would think this would happen in Arizona, yet here we are. So I will have a link in the description for this bill once I can edit this, once it's uploaded. It's crazy. Let me see who the sponsors are. So if you live in Arizona, these are your people who are behind this. Try to see who submitted it here. Well, let's just go to the sponsors. Your representatives, here's the primary. This is the person who submitted it. Rebecca Rios, Democrat. And the co-sponsors are Layla Alston, David Bradley, Lupe Contreras, Andrea D'Alessandro. Those are, let's see, Sally Gonzalez, Juan Mendez, Tony Navarrete, Lisa Otondo, Gemasita Peshlaki, Martin Quezada, and Victoria Steele. So those are your enemies in Arizona. They don't like the Constitution, they don't like the Second Amendment, and they're going to make sure that none of the people who live there have the ability to defend themselves, or their families, or their property. So, thank you for your time. It's almost 15 minutes. This is why I want to do this live, because this would take me 3 hours to film, edit, and upload. So, it's Sunday evening. Please watch the video that I just put up about Bernie Sanders. He literally became Beto O'Rourke in yesterday's debates in New Hampshire, and told what he wants to do, and what all the Democrats want to do on this presidential campaign. And also got something tomorrow morning that you're going to want to watch. It's going crazy, guys and gals. It really is. It's time to stay focused. It's time to educate your family, your kids, your mom, your dad, your neighbors. Let them know what's really going on, because you might need each other really soon. So from Massachusetts, it's bitterly cold and it's snowing. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon. Thank you for your time. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.